Good morning. I think I have the mic issue resolved. I hope. I will be watching once I get back there for a comment if you can't hear me. I don't know what was up on Monday. It said it was my USB audio device, but it seemed like it was just using the microphone that's in my computer. So maybe I just didn't have a good connection, but I think I got it today. But I'll be watching the comments when we get started. Let's start on our backs. I'll meet you on your mat, on my mat. I've got a couple blocks out here. They may come in handy later on. And as you arrive, let's just lie down here in a nice Shavasana. So we'll start and end our practice in corpse pose with the legs long. Trying to check it looks like my mic's working. Let the toes roll out. So you can just relax the legs and the hips, let the palms roll up. And it's the same dynamic here. The shoulder and the hip are made in very similar ways. So we want everything open and relaxed. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now reach long through the whole body. Good morning, stretch. Oh, I see a comment. I better go look. Sounds great. Good. Thank you, Cheryl. So good morning, stretch. And then draw the knees into the chest, Apanasana. Start doing some hip circling here. And reverse direction, whatever way you chose to circle the hips. Now keep the right knee and extend the left leg long. Both feet are flexed. We're starting to activate all the muscles in our legs. I'm going to take my left hand to the outside of my right knee, coming into a twist. And breathe. Feel this in the glute, the piriformis muscle. And back to center, nice gentle opening to the right. You can take that left hand and place it on your groin or your hip, reminding that part of you not to just fall over into the twist. It's just about the hip here. And back to center. Now circle the femur, the thigh bone with your hands like you're circling a tree trunk, and reach up through the heel and then bend and reach and bend. Be slow and deliberate with this, really sensing into the hamstrings. So adjust as you need to gently find that wake-up call for your hamstrings this morning. And then eventually find the place where you can be straight in the leg. So that might even be clear down here or lower, or it could even be higher if you're more flexible. I'm going to continue to hang on to my thigh right above the knee and then push down like I'm trying to drive the thigh bone into the mat. And at the same time, I'm reaching up through the heel. Check on that left foot. Is it still flexed? Activate the leg. Now point the toes of the right foot, and we're going to release the arms down to the side. Do some circles through the hip with a long leg. Do several in one direction, several in the other. And release that leg down. And pause to notice the difference. And you might even peek down there. The right leg might, at this point, be just a little longer than the left. We've really stretched and woke up that hip socket. We'll even it out now. Draw the left knee and keep the right leg active. And we're going to open. Let's take it across first. So take the knee across the body to the right. Nice and slow. Feel that sensation wherever you feel it. Should be a twist and a stretch, no pain. Now back to center and gently open the knee to the left. Maybe that right hand comes to the right hip. Breathe. Back to center, circle the femur, reach up with the heel. So a little stretch and release. Finding stretch here, sensation in the back of the left thigh, the hamstrings. And eventually find that place where you can keep the leg straight. Reaching through the heel, circle the femur, drive the femur down, and at the same time you're reaching up like you're trying to step on the ceiling. Draw the toes towards the knee. Feel all that sensation now in the calf muscles. Release the arms. You're going to point the toes of the left leg. I got to be careful so I don't kick my candles off, and do some circles here with a nice long leg. Draw your navel back towards your spine. We're using more core since we've got that long leg. Go the other way. And then release the leg long, a good morning stretch again. Draw the knees into the chest. Apanasana. And let's rock up to a seated position. I'm going to turn to face you. Sukhasana. Inhale the arms up. It looks wintry out there. Exhale, right arm down to the mat, left arm over. Keep that left sit bone planted. Tuck your chin, look up underneath your arm towards the sky. Now push off of the right hand so you float up and over on the exhale, folding to the left. This time keep the right sit bone anchored. Tuck your chin, look up underneath your arm towards the sky, and then push off on your left hand. So we'll float breath to breath. Exhale, you come into a fold. Inhale up and over. Exhale, fold. One more each side. Let's do one more so we're even. I'm never really good about being even with my movements. Inhale, both arms up. Now come into goddess. Draw the elbows back. We'll do a little cow here. You can even drop your elbows down towards your hips. Coming into moon god. And then back to goddess, round the spine and bring the forearms to touch. Inhale, open to goddess. Maybe even moon god, elbows touching or moving towards the hips. Back to goddess, rounding into a cat back, bringing the forearms to touch. Let's do one more of these each way. And inhale, open, and exhale, close. Roll the shoulders forward and up, back and down. Nice and slow though. And see if it feels good to reverse the direction. Can just be interesting. Something to keep you anchored here. Now switch the cross of your legs. We're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Take the right arm out here and then up and over, another lateral flex and extend, and then bring the right hand down. Big circle with the left arm. So we'll twist a little here as we circle. Up and over. Feel that nice stretch in the side waist and the obliques. Watch the hand. So you get a twist in the neck. Let's do one more on this side. And then we'll switch to the other side. So the right hand to the outside of the left knee, left arm out here, up and over. Circle. Range of motion in the shoulder, but some twisting in the spine. And once you get that shoulder circle, that's pretty easy. Keep your awareness in the spine and try to twist all up and down the length of the spinal column. Let's do one more big circle with the shoulder. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale the hands home to the heart and meet me in table. Hands and knees. And once you arrive, let's circle. Hips, shoulders, wrists, knees. And reverse the direction. Now let's shift forward on an inhale. And back with an exhale. Little wrist stretch. Forward on an inhale. Back on an exhale. Come back to table and turn the wrists so the fingers point out. And some circling here again. Reversing direction. Back to table. Now turn the fingers so they point towards you. This can be pretty intense. So if it's too intense, you can walk the hands closer. Or if you want a little more sensation, walk the hands further away. Breathe. Chances are you'll be doing a lot of work with those wrists and fingers and the palms. So let's stretch everything out. Now unwind, but one hand at a time. We're going to turn the back of the hand to the mat. A little counter stretch. Second side, back of the hand to the mat. And then back to table. Beginning with the right hand, we'll take a nice thread the needle. So right hand comes out and then behind the left arm. We're not going to go down yet. Now we're going to swoop that hand up. So a little twist again. And exhale, reach under the arm, twisting again, and then bringing the shoulder and the side of the head down. Shift back into the knee, into the hip. Reach the left arm up, thumb points down, leads the way, so you can bring that hand behind you, a little half bend. You can tuck the fingers there between your belly and your thigh and use that to open the heart to the left. And breathe. Now unwind, we're going to reach up with the right arm and back down. Second side, left arm out. Take a dive behind the right, twist, and then come back up. Really reach to the sky, twisting, and then dive back down, threading the needle. Again, the weight should be in the hips. You'll feel a little weight in the side of the head and the shoulder, but not too much. Shift back. Now take the right arm up, thumb down, palm behind you, and let that arm drape back there. Maybe you tuck the fingers between the belly and the thigh, and then use that to open the heart to the right. Breathe. And unwind. Taking that left arm way up there again. And exhale, bringing the arm down. Let's come to child's pose. It can be wide or narrow. It can be happy puppy. And place your arms someplace where it feels good. If out long, extended feels good, but I always like to bring my arms next to my shins. Release the shoulders, palms face up. Breathing up and down the spine. Now pressing back to table. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. And find some space. We're still waking those muscles up. Bringing the nervous system on board. Giving everything time to wake up and connect. And then settle into stillness in your down dog, bending your knees a lot. Spread your fingers wide and push the mat away, sending the belly to the thighs. Shake the head, yes. Release the neck. Shake the head, no. Now bend your elbows so they point out. And then we're going to scoop those elbows down towards the floor and feel that drop your shoulders out of your ears. Relaxes the trapezius muscle. Bring your gaze between your hands and walk that tightrope nice and slow, little teeny tiny baby steps like a cat. To the top of the mat. Plant your feet under your hips, bend your knees a lot. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Side to side. Now drop the hands and keeping the knees bent, round up one vertebrae at a time. We'll move through a neutral spine and come into a bit of a back bend, letting the arms swing back. Shoulders open, gaze is lifted, and then back to neutral. Mountain pose. Inhale, swing your arms up. On an exhale, fold forward. On an inhale, lift halfway, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Now pull your feet away from each other. Feel the hips engage. Swing the arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. We'll add on to that. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway. Fold, bringing the hands to the mat or to blocks. I want you to step back into plank. Push yourself forward so the shoulders are over the wrists, maybe even a little forward of the wrists, and then drop your knees. And now drop your belly. Come all the way down. Tuck your chin, forehead comes down. Draw those elbows close to the body. We're going to do 5 rolling baby cobra. So lifting up on your inhale, keeping the low ribs on the mat. Unfurling the head last, and then exhale down. 4 more. Keep the navel drawn to the spine. Engage the core. Support the lumbar spine. Tying your movement with your breath. Maybe you come up a little higher for these last couple. I've got 2 more. And bring the forehead down, tuck the toes, press into plank. Pause, and then down dog. I gotta think about this one. Let's bring your right leg back and up. So I've situated myself this way on purpose, and I hope I've done it the right way so you can see. I want you to step the foot forward, up by the hand, help it out if you need to, and then drop the left knee and rise up. Whoa, take the hands to the hips, watch me fall. And draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. I'm also not mirroring you in this one, so now I've got to kind of think backwards. Now swing your arms up. Take your hands behind your head, and fingertips are kind of right back behind the ears. Open the elbows. And keep the hips engaged, and maybe add a little back bend here. Keep the hips engaged, and maybe you sink forward and down in the pelvis. Breathe. Back to neutral. Frame the foot. Blocks would be good here. I'm going to grab my blocks. Tuck the toes of the left foot and lift that knee. And now we're going to straighten the front leg. So coming into Paschimottanasana, no, not Paschimottanasana, Parshvottanasana. Might be Parshvottanasana. I think it is Tonasana. And fold forward, getting a nice stretch all up and down that right leg. Breathe. Now bend into the right knee and rise up in a lunge. Bend the left knee a bit. You're going to tuck the tailbone. Soften the ribs. In the front, it's easy to flare those ribs. And swing those arms up by the ears. Roll those little fingers inward. Maybe you lift into a bit of a back bend. And breathe. On your next exhale, fold forward. Hands to the blocks or to the mat. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Keep the knees bent a lot. Let the arms hang. Pull the feet away from each other. Swing your arms out and up. Exhale the hands home to the heart. Second side, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Lifting halfway. Hands to the mat or to your block, stepping back into plank. Shift forward a bit, shoulders over wrists or a little forward of the wrist. Drop the knees, come to the belly. This time we'll come up in high cobra. We'll do 5 rolling high cobra. So draw that navel in. Push the pubic bone down into the floor. And it's like you're doing a little crunch. Keep that engagement of the core as you inhale. Lift up. Unfurl the head last. And exhale down. 4 more. If baby cobra still feels best in your body, stay there or rest in crocodile. I've got 2 more. And then floating down, pressing back into plank, pausing, down dog. Swing your left leg back and up and step it forward. Help it out if you need to. Drop the right knee. Make sure you're on railroad tracks here. And rise up. Bring your hands to your hips. Now the left hip draws back and that right hip kind of wraps forward. Not much of a movement, but you're squaring your hips. Swing the arms up, fingertips right behind the ears. Open the elbows. And then maybe lift into a little back bend. Maybe you sink forward and down in the hips. Keep reaching through the crown of the head though. Don't let the head just hinge back. And as you exhale, reach out there for your blocks. Lift the right knee. Straighten the left leg as much as you can. And fold forward here. Parsvottanasana. Pretty sure it's Tonasana or Konasana. Kona means angle. So I'm not sure. Some of the Sanskrit words are really similar and you kind of have to break them up into what they mean. Breathe. Now bend into the left knee. We're going to rise up in a lunge, a high lunge. Bend the right knee a bit. Curl that sit bone, the sit bones and the tailbone under, softening the ribs. Swing your arms out and up this time. Roll little fingers towards each other. Feel that drop your trapezius muscles out of your ears. That was just like we did with our down dog. So it was really just an external rotation. Maybe you lift into a bit of a back bend. High crescent lunge. Feel that stretch in the hip flexors on the right. Then fold forward. Find the mat or the blocks. Step it forward. Right foot meets left. Let's lift halfway. Lengthening through the spine. Fold forward. Pull the feet away from each other. Swing your arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Inhale, swing up. Exhale, fold. Lifting halfway. Step back with the left foot, I think is what I'm going to need to do. This is the one I really need to be in the right orientation so you can see me, but I probably screwed it up. So we're going to rise up into our lunge. And then lifting your prayer, we're going to shift into Warrior 2. And then drop those arms down. Scoop the sit bones underneath you, soften the ribs. Breathe. Let's take a peaceful warrior here. I'm going to take a half bind. then back to warrior two. Now bring both hands to the mat. Let's try the inside of the foot and see how this works. So now I'm back onto the ball of the foot on my left. I'm going to come into a side plank, a modified side plank, spinning to the little toe edge of my left foot, and then heel toe the right foot so the toes turn outward, and you can reach up. I think I did it. I think you can see me here. Now, you may need to heel toe that foot a little more in line with the hip. We're gonna bring the hips down and up. You can take hand to the waist or keep the arm up high. Really working the obliques. Now float the hip down. And what did I want to do here? I want to turn so it'll be to the back of your mat. And look how I ended up. So I've got my foot across my thigh. I'm going to come into a twist here. Sit up nice and tall on your sit bones. Maybe that's it. Or maybe you take left arm and twist to the right. And breathe. And then unwinding. We're going to come back in to the side plank with the hip down. So we're really not in a side plank. I'm going to come down onto the mat, support my head with my hand, and come into Krishna's couch. Reach out there for your big toe. And extend that leg up. Breathe. Maybe you pull that leg a little closer, just like we did to begin with. Finding the place where you can bring the leg to straight. Now lay the head on the arm and take a fallen tree. Draw the knee towards the armpit, slide the hand down to the ankle and take a fallen dancer. Now we're stretching through the front of the thigh, the quads. Release that leg, roll onto the belly, hands by the armpits. Tuck the toes, press up into plank. Let's hold plank for, let's do 8 breaths here. Drawing the navel towards the spine, checking in on the wrists. I'm halfway there. And downward facing dog. And then walk the tightrope to the top of the mat. Arriving with the feet under the hips, let's lift and lengthen halfway. And fold. Pulling the feet away from each other, swing your arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Second side, inhale up. And exhale, fold. Lift halfway. I think it's the right foot now that I step back with. Rise up. High crescent lunge. I'm going to lift the prayer and open out into warrior two. And take a few breaths to set up your warrior two. Look at that thigh. See if you can parallel the thigh to the mat. Scoop the sit bones. Everything from the belly up faces the long edge of your mat. Reach to the pinky toe edge of that back foot and take a peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two. Bring the hands to the inside of the foot. I'm on the ball of my right foot. I'm going to pivot. You may want to heel toe the left foot out to the edge of the mat and then turn the toes outward. Then pivot to the pinky edge of the right foot. And adjust the wrist. Then we're going to dip and come up. And dip and come up. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. I come down onto that hip. Then I'm going to roll onto my butt and come up into my twist. So left foot is across right thigh. You can twist this. Breathe. Now unwind. We're going to come onto the right hip again. Cradle the head in the right arm. Coming into Krishna's couch. So grab the big toe of the left foot. Extend the leg up long. Breathe. Now lower the head onto the upper arm and come into fallen tree. Down for your ankle and fallen dancer. And breathe. And release the leg and roll onto the belly, and let's find crocodile. So stack your hands, forehead to the back of the hands, bend the knees and windshield wiper the shins. Maybe even some circles. One way and then the other. And then release the shins. Nice and soft landing here. Don't just flop them down. Breathe. I'm pressing once again into plank. Downward facing dog. And I'm going to turn now and find your way to the top of the mat. Rising up into mountain pose. So I hope that worked out. That was a little twist for my brain. Who knows? I didn't mirror you, and I tried to start in a way that you could really see me both sides. Who knows? So we're going to come into a balance, kind of reminiscent of the warm-up that we did on the mat. I want you to shift your weight. Now I will mirror you to the right. And lift your left knee, coming into staff pose. Hold this. And take the right hand to the outside of the left knee, and we're going to pull that across the body and take the gaze to the left arm. And now come back to neutral, back to staff. Take the right hand to support the knee and open the knee to the right and take the gaze to the left. Bring the knee forward again, and we're going to cross the feet so the little toes touch. Keep a little bend in both knees and fold forward here. Fingertips coming down to blocks or to the mat. I'm going to walk my fingers to the right and send my hips back and to the left. And walk the fingers forward. Unwind the feet, bend the knees a lot, keep the knees bent, round up one vertebrae at a time. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. Coming into a bit of a back bend. Arms are still heavy, head is heavy. And back to neutral, find your mountain pose. Maybe sway a little bit. Now shift your weight to your left. Lifting your right knee in staff. You can support the knee if you need to with your hand, but see if you can do it without the support. Now take the left hand to the outside of the knee. Draw that knee across, coming into a twist. Taking the gaze to the right. Facing forward, second side. Left arm's out, right hand to right knee. Opening knee to the right, take the gaze to the left. I'm facing forward again, crossing, little toes touch. Little squat here, little bend in both knees. And then folding at the hips. Fingertips come to the floor or to the blocks. Take your fingers to the left corner and send your hips back into the right. And then unwinding, knees are bent a lot. We're going to round up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Arms are heavy. Take a little back bend here. Now bring the big toes to touch, Samastitihi. Look down at your toes and bend the knees only until you begin to lose sight of the last couple of toes. And then with the hands at the hips, I want you to fold forward, keeping the knees bent. Now bring your arms up by your ears, lower your hips, and raise your heart. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Tuck your sit bones, flatten your low back. Shift your weight to your right, hands to heart. Lift your left leg. And then we're going to reach back and come into Warrior 3. So hands can be at the heart or they can be not. Now the dismount will be Warrior 1. So lower that left foot, a little 45-degree angle. Now the hips are facing mostly forward. Bring the hands to heart again. Let's take an Exalted Warrior. Lift your prayer. Lift your gaze. Now release the hands, grab the fingers behind the back. Open through the chest. Push the knuckles down, pull the knuckles away as you float forward, bringing the right shoulder to touch the right knee, letting the head hang. Breathe. Release the hands to the mat. Step back in plank. And take your vinyasa. So if chaturanga is in your practice, do that. Find a little back bend of some sort. And meet me in down dog. And then meet me at the top of the mat. Bringing the big toes to touch. And heels can have a little space. Swing those arms up by the ears as you rise all the way up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Hands to hips. Look down at the toes. Bend into the knees until you start to lose sight of the last couple of toes. Then we're going to hinge forward at the hips. Bring the hands to heart. Now lift the chest only. Sink the hips down more. Shift your weight to your left. Lift your right leg. Reaching back into Warrior 3. You can play with the arm position. Dismount Warrior 1. Make sure you're on railroad tracks here. We came to Warrior 1 from Samastitihi, so you might have more of a tightrope position, which is more of a challenge to the balance. So you can heel toe the left foot out to the left. One little move. Hands to heart. Lift your prayer, Exalted Warrior. Swing the hands behind you, lace the fingers, open through the chest. Draw the elbows towards each other. Push the knuckles down, then lift the knuckles away as you fold at the hips, bringing left shoulder to left knee. Let the head hang. Release the hands to frame the foot. Come to table. across the ankles and sit back over your heels. Just bring the legs wide. Upavista. And if you have a block, bring that block out there. Adjust your sit bones. Roll those toes inward. And then pull the heels towards you. The knees might bend a little. Feel the pelvis tilt forward. And from that position, start to fold at the hips. And then maybe you can bring your forehead out here onto the block. Roll on the heels now until the toes point up. And breathe. And then inhaling, rise up. Bend both knees. Bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. Take the ankles, pull on the ankles. Let that bring the pelvis forward, the chest forward. And maybe that's all you want this morning, or maybe a forward fold can feel good. And then maybe just rounding into this pose feels good. Let the head hang. Breathe. Rising up, we're going to take the right hand behind us, take the left knee, lift it over on top of the right, taking a nice twist, looking over the right shoulder, and back to center, second side. And then release, finding your way to your back. Or a little Shavasana. And move in any way that feels right as you find your way to a shape that's very comfortable. You can spend a few moments just breathing. Once you arrive, maybe a couple breaths just to maybe improve your level of comfort, even 1%. It always feels good for me to tuck the shoulder blades if I'm on my back. And then commit to stillness. Feeling the breath coming and going through the nostrils. Feel that turbulence. See if you can feel the breath caress the upper lip as it's drawn into the nostrils. Relaxing for a moment of stillness. Begin to deepen your breath, maybe hands coming to the belly. Feeling the movement in the belly as the breath deepens. And then moving the body in whatever way feels right to you this morning to come back online, slipping back into the physical sensations. And roll to your right side and press yourself up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Pretty soon, in a few days, we're going to shift into longer days. It always feels like winter's just starting when we start to get the longer days. I don't know. I like that celebration though, welcoming the light. Inhale, reach up one more time. And exhale, hands to heart. May you have peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful world. Namaste. I'll see you Monday, 7 a.m. I guess just one next week because Friday will be Christmas Eve. So just Monday. See you then.